You know, as a church, we follow the law. And we follow the IRS regulation that says, as a church, we cannot endorse or oppose any candidate for office. And we live very carefully by that. We think we ought to live by that as long as that is the law of the land and we enjoy tax-exempt status. So our church has never endorsed or opposed any candidate, nor will we. Now, as pastor, I'm free to endorse anybody I want to. I'm an American citizen. I don't check those rights in at the door. And I'm free under the law. I could serve as somebody's campaign manager if I wanted to do that. And that's not an issue. But as a church, we don't endorse candidates. But what we do endorse is the responsibility of every Christian to vote. And if you heard me this morning on Fox and Friends, I was explaining to Ainsley Earhart why we as Christians are mandated to vote. No, voting's not in the Bible. I agree with that. But remember, in biblical times, you didn't get to vote for kings and emperors. They were imposed upon you, and their policies were imposed upon you. But in our great country, it's not that way. As John Jay, the first Chief Justice of our United States Supreme Court, said years ago, he said, God has given us the privilege in this Christian nation of choosing our leaders. And you know, that is a tremendous thing when you think about it. We get to choose our leaders by our vote. And the leaders we choose determine the policies we live under. And the policies they establish determine the moral and spiritual direction of our country. When we go into the voting booth, we are either voting for righteousness or for unrighteousness. Now, some people get sanctimonious. They say, well, I'm a citizen of heaven. I'm not a citizen of earth. No, you're a citizen of heaven and you're a citizen here on earth. We have a responsibility to our fellow men and women. Remember when the Israelites were being held captive in Babylon? Remember that? And Jeremiah the prophet told these Jews living in a foreign country, Jerusalem was their home, but they were in captivity in Babylon. Still, Jeremiah says, be concerned for the welfare of the city in which you live. Why did he care about what happened to ungodly Babylon? Because he loved the citizens of Babylon. And if we love our neighbors as ourselves, as Jesus commanded, we care not only about the policies we have to live under, we care about the policies others live under. And that's why we ought to vote for the candidate whom we believe will do the most good, or at least the least amount of harm, to ourselves as well as our fellow citizens. So what I want to encourage you to do today, if you have not voted yet, vote this coming Tuesday. Let your voice be known. That is a responsibility of every child of God. Thank you for doing that.